What's up, everybody? James Duggan here with John Ryan.
Hello again.
And we are playing Warhammer 40k Eternal Crusade.
Look at this guy up off the ground.
A game that I've heard and seen a lot about, and I am always a big fan of these types of games. The idea here is this is kind of a Warhammer take on PlanetSide, if you will, or that is what it will be someday.
Yeah, in the 2-second summary, that's actually not incredibly far off. Basically, the whole point is that what you're seeing right now is just kind of a sample of the combat. But the whole game is basically going to be an MMO set on a planet in the 40k universe. And the objective is, of course, as with everything in Warhammer, to conquer all of your enemies and see them driven before you and hear the lamentations of their women.
That is what is best.
Indeed.
Speaking of what is best, why don't you show this guy what's best?
Oh God, no, I can't. I'm getting stabbed in the spine.
I thought that was your friend.
That is my friend.
So
he's
right now is oh really?
So Friendly Fire, the thing about this is it is an action shooter, but it's also a fairly tactical shooter. So you cannot shoot your friends.
So there's Space Marines and Chaos Space Marines.
Yes,
currently in the game.
That is what is available.
Greenskins and Eldar, are they coming?
They're coming as well. We should have mentioned this a few seconds ago. This is in early alpha right now. It is available on the Steam for early access. And it's an interesting take. It's kind of fun to get in, play around, because I've always been a fan of the 40k universe. But I'm curious to see how this side of the combat, because if you're noticing, we have to capture control points and defend control points. It kind of feels a lot like Battlefield or just a match of domination in any action shooter.
Pretty standard stuff.
Yeah. And it's interesting to me to see how this is kind of going to fit into their general idea for a player-driven MMO. Now I get, the combat mechanics, you mentioned PlanetSide 2, that actually makes a lot of sense.
I mean, even as far as objectives are concerned, at least when I played it, there was a lattice system that would just have you basically going from outpost to outpost, sieging them. And it's really hard for these kinds of games not to devolve into a Zerg fest.
There's going to be a lot.
There are steps that have to be taken on the development side and the design side to ensure that doesn't happen. And I don't know that I've seen a good example of that. That being said, Zergfest can be fun.
Yeah, it's one of those things where I have moderately high expectations, but very high hopes.
Cautiously optimistic.
Yeah, exactly. I'm cautiously optimistic for this one because I talked some time ago with some of the developers on the team, and they seem really excited about the idea of making players be the big focus of the game. And while there are a lot of great opportunities to have some PvP content, or PvE content, I should say, in the Warhammer universe, the big thing about Warhammer, it was always me versus my friends when I was playing on a tabletop.
Right.
And so I like being able to see that here.
Like, he's got the power fist.
No!
He's not your friend.
No, he's not.
He's the opposite.
I'm trying to get out of here. Nope.
And so I believe the term is clanging, where your weapon is puny compared to his mighty power fist, and now you're...
Very true. My buddy and I here, we're going to die at the same time. We're gonna go out and
honor to fight by your side, brother. All right, so talk to me about the classes and the archetypes that are available right now. I see a vehicle. I see a Predator tank or something of the like.
That's a Predator tank on my team. I can try and swing over there and see if I can get in there. These are my custom loadouts, but you can see the staples of the 40k universe, the weapons. You got your bolters, your bolt pistols, combat knives. You can get chain swords here. And let's go with this guy, the Raptor, because I like him a lot because he's got a jump pack.
Oh, that's sweet.
And so, you'll find that there are the class schemes that you'll find in the early access build in the alpha currently are a lot more similar to that.
Is this as fast as you can go?
No, I can run.
Oh, okay. I was like, wow, that power armor is
real slow.
Yeah. Nice. That's a cool little ground telegraph you get for a ground pound.
Well, you can also use that as a melee attack. But yeah, so the classes in this one seem a lot more. Bam! Screw you, giant green ball. Seem a lot more akin to something you would find in like a military shooter or basically a tactical team game.
Sure.
Where it's like, only the assault class can capture control points, but they're the most nimble. They have assault rifles as opposed to, say, more ping pongs. As opposed to like this class, which is sort of a fast-moving melee class, where you've got a jump pack, you've got a bolt pistol, but your real friend in this one's going to be the chain sword here.
Cool, yeah. It does seem as though you're dying in a reasonable amount of time, not an absurd bullet spongy time, but, that is a gift and a curse in this type of game where there ideally would be no player limit, and you can kind of...
I gotta get that guy. Oh
wow.
I goofed.
That was impressive.
I goofed.
The Chaos Lord would not be impressed.
No. Blood for the Blood God, but not.
So here's what stopped me from playing
Idiot
PlanetSide 2. This is what I was pretty into that game. I liked the concept. I even thought that the repetitive Zerg v Zerg combat was good enough to keep me playing. The problem there was no carrot. Everything in terms of your progression in that game was a side grade, and therefore spending 20 hours of gameplay to unlock a new minigun, and the minigun turned out to be
okay at best.
Okay, maybe even worse than what you were using in the majority of situations.
Yep.
And so that was because the game was free to play, and there was they didn't want pay to win. So instead they were like, okay, well you can buy anything in the game. However, everything sucks anyway, so don't even worry about it. And so that really turned me off to it, because a big part of these kind of RPG-ish games is progression. So does it look like is everything just kind of a side grade? Do you
there are side grades, but they're mostly aesthetic, it seems. In my conversations with the few folks that I have spoken to, oh god, that was just unavoidable.
That guy wrecked you guys.
Yes, he did. The upgrades that are sort of side grades are mostly aesthetic. So like if you want a new armor kit, and that's not saying it's better armor, it just looks different.
So is there a solid progression system in the game right now, or will there be one? And have they kind of detailed
currently
what that
this
will
is
be?
basically the alpha right now is just showing off. No, come back! I want to ride. The alpha right now is just basically showing off the combat mechanics. You can see as I've been killing dudes or capturing points, you are earning XP.
Mm-hmm.
But as far as I've seen, that doesn't really allow me to unlock anything new or buy a whole lot. But that is apparently coming relatively soon,
cool.
I believe.
Cool. And then talk to me about the vehicular combat, because that's always a huge part of these very large-scale open-world multiplayer shooter games.
So, it's Warhammer in the 40th century, or the 40th millennia, I guess. And if you've played any of the tabletop games or any of the others, you'll remember that... vehicles are a big part of building out an army and successfully, defending your side of the table. And it's no different here. You saw, as I spawned the last time, not this one though, that one of my guys had a Predator tank. So there are tanks, there are... God, diggity dang
I just
it.
want to see you execute somebody.
I know, and someone's probably going to execute me instead.
Come on, Chaos
God,
Brothers.
guys, come on.
Help each other out. There we go. That goes.
So there are plenty of tanks. The ones that are available currently are the Predator and the Rhino, which are a combat tank and then like a troop transport. And the Rhino is cool because that actually... No!
There's a couple guys
This is gonna end badly. I melta-bombed him, though.
Oh, that's cool. So once you go down once and you get up again, you just die.
Yeah.
Okay, I like that.
So the Rhinos work as troop transports. You can fit up to, I think, 6 Marines into that one, and then the Predator, I think, can hold 4 other guys besides the driver, and it will essentially, it's got a turret, it's got side-mounted guns, it's a tank.
Sure.
It's exactly what you expect.
And is that a dominant force on the battlefield, or are those
it is definitely something you do not want to get stuck in front of or in the path of.
Right.
Having run into several of them myself in the last day and a half that I've been playing this. Actually, let's see if we can hop in this guy's Predator right here. So this is the Predator tank. You may recognize it from such fine films or games as Warhammer Dawn of War.
War.
Apparently I cannot.
Oh well, he's driving it.
It was probably full.
There's that troop transport. And again, probably this troop transporty stuff. It's going to be more useful when there's a large open world.
When there's when you have actual ground to cover, when you've got other players.
That was pretty cool. He just slammed that tank.
Yes, he did. Oh no!
So, what's the price point for this right now if you want to get into the alpha today?
On Steam, you can get into the early access for $40, I believe, and I'm fairly certain that also grants you full access to the game once it actually launches.
That's cool.
Yeah.
And is the plan for it to be free to play once it launches, or
there is going to be a free to play option? I know that in the last time that I talked with folk about the game, I believe the Orcs were the free to play faction. And you could progress a certain amount of time.
Going to be a bunch
before
of
you kind of hit
noob
the cap
mech
on that.
boys.
Yeah, the
around.
war boys are going to be, a kind of a problem. But
well,
that's also sort of
kind of aesthetically cool, or just thematically
that's
cool.
The whole thing about it is, orcs are traditionally huge in number,
right,
but also just
Kinda
horrifically disorganized. Yeah, they're
Yeah.
horribly disorganized. So it makes sense that all the new guys who have no idea what's going on are going to be new little war boys.
So, final question. What would you like to see most in the coming months out of this game? Would you like them to do you think they need to refine the combat experience? Does the combat feel okay now and you want to see them expand into larger maps? Or
The combat feels actually really good. Despite the fact that because it's an alpha, I can't necessarily customize my own control scheme yet. It feels solid. Like I'm walking around right now, it feels like I am actually really decked out in power armor. Like it's slow-ish, but not
a little weighty.
I shouldn't say that. It's not slow. It's weighted.
Right.
So I guess what I'm really looking forward to is seeing once they open it up to some open world exploration. I really am excited to see where they take it and how the open world aspects of it play in. Oh no, I was going to kill that guy, but then he escaped. But yeah, I think mostly I'm looking forward to seeing what the open world side of this game is like. Because
me too, absolutely.
that's really always been my thing with Warhammer, is that I just want to run around and explore.
I know. I want to run around with some friends, living the fantasy, and I think this is a great platform to do it. I'm super excited. I am completely overjoyed to see another entry into the PlanetSide-esque style of game, because I was so afraid that genre was just going to die in a fire.
Yeah.
And it kind of has.
And
But
hopefully though, it will have
future.
a beautiful Phoenix-like resurgence in the form of Eternal
it's
Crusade.
so cool. I don't know. Maybe I'm one of few who enjoy that style of
No,
game.
I'm absolutely with you, because it's one of those things where it's like I like creating my own adventures with everybody else.
Sure.
And I think PlanetSide did a really good job of that for the most part. It got a little slow after you played for too long.
Right.
But especially in this universe, I think there are boundless opportunities.
Exactly. When you
to
give
create
the players
really, really
the
cool
tools
stuff.
to create their own stories in the form of vehicles and bases and weapons, and making their own player versus player encounters and stories and telling your friends about stuff, then it lasts a lot longer than creating, say, a dungeon or a raid or something like that. But anyway, this has been Warhammer 40k Eternal Crusade, out now on Steam. Well, in early access on Steam for $40. You can pick it up.
And great. I'm going to get
beautiful. Hey, we get to see an execution, a translucent execution to end it. For all things Warhammer, keep it right here on IGN.